Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation. Thank you very much for joining me. Videos over the last few days have talked about what effectively are Ascension symptoms. And I came across a video today through synchronicity that I had not seen before on Bashar. It was 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. And it talks about, it was a workshop from 1992, and it talks about this technique called the periscope technique to build a better conduit with the higher mind and some of the symptoms that you might actually experience. And ta-da! Some of those symptoms like binocular vision, and that, like yesterday when I did some videos, I'm like, something is, you could tell when I was speaking that something's not quite the same. I'm not saying that it's not right, it's just different, and it's a lot different, and it was kind of like this weird, almost like a deja vu feeling, like I'm beside myself, kind of, and then not, and then not. It's like it goes back and forth. And there was basically the idea is to imagine that you are looking through a periscope, and that you're the higher self looking through a mirror through the periscope into physical reality through your eyes and your body. And that idea is how the physical matrix is really set up, because you're not in physical reality. Physical reality is within your consciousness. You are manifesting it within your greater consciousness from the higher self. And most beings in creation remember this when they actually are born and remember their oversoul connection. And we chose to play a different type of game on Earth, to go through great limitation, and to have the opportunity to go into the light and to reintegrate. And here we are, during a time of great reintegration. And that's what I'm feeling, is a lot of reintegration, excuse me, and remembering being a whole holistic being, and feeling that I am looking from the higher self. So not all the way to the oversoul connection, and not all the way to the 6th density to the soul connection, but to a 5th density connection to the higher self as a 5th density being. I am feeling that, which would in reality be the next density up from our density. We were in the 3rd density, we are now in the 4th density, so we have space-time, and now it's time-space, where time is now flexible and malleable. We're just experimenting with that, like getting places early, when you knew you didn't have enough time to get there, but you got there anyway. Experienced that a few times, and not even having a conscious thought of it. So all kinds of really interesting things and ideas that go along with that. So it's interesting to be able to have that sense, to pop into that understanding and have that be a fixed idea within your consciousness, that must be another level toward first contact of integration, in that if I were to come in contact, or when I come in contact to a whole holistic being like the YahYel, for instance, that the integration that would occur during that time wouldn't be so staggering that I wouldn't just go and game over, consciousness is just fried, because it's taking years to get this done. It started years and years and years and years ago, obviously, slowly but surely, but the last 2 or 3 years have been a lot of information. The last couple of years going through Bashar and all these other channels, KYRON and Pleiadian Collective, and now the Beta, Zeta Reticuli, and the founders, and all that. Each one giving different elements and pieces of information to integrate, all of that time, and going into astral states and having conversations that you don't remember, and other sorts of contact. There's no way that you could just present yourself to a whole holistic being and be okay. Quite honestly, even right now, considering just the flares of unconditional love that are coming at this point in time, and as intense as they are in relation to how they used to be, I don't think quite honestly, that would be possible for me to have them in a sustained state and have the physical matrix be okay, or my consciousness be okay, and be able to be in it. I'm getting the sense that that's going to be okay in a very short amount of time. But if I were to present myself to a holistic being, like let's say the YahYel or Bashar, the Sassani, Essassani, that wouldn't be okay. And I've done a ton of being good. I've done a ton of integration, and I still don't feel, based on those types of situations that have come up even over the last few days. In the shower, I had a sense of unconditional love that was just wicked, and over and above anything and everything that I've experienced. Not quite as much in the way of duration, but intensity and depth. And I'm getting the sense that that is more of the idea of that vibration coming through on the fifth density, higher self, as experienced myself as the higher self, and knowing that this is a construct, something that I donned to be able to have the experience to go into physical reality as an idea. And all of those being conscious now simultaneously. And Bashar has said in this particular video that I love, and I've watched or listened to at least 1,000 times, at least that's what, Google Play says, like 1,100 times the last time I looked, and it says it's about 14-15 minutes long, and it is basically the I am meditation for being here, and I think it was part of the channeling class, if I remember right. And it was basically the I am all-knowing is all-knowing. That is full integration. That is all you need to know to be in the one moment, and to be present in that moment, and to have all-knowing available to you. And I've been doing that for probably like a year and a half or so now. Sometimes all day I just have it in my ear, and it just plays over and over and over and over again for hours on end. So if there's a disruption in the force, so to speak, and there's maybe negative people around me, or I have to go to different places and do different things that might not be quite in alignment with what I would prefer, I was using that as a leveler, and I would say that it's paid off over the years. And I think that's everything that wants to share. So the periscope technique, I think that is very indicative of the symptoms of Ascension that are presenting themselves at this point in time. Thank you very much, Synchronicity. I know I put that there, so thank you, me. Yay. Feeling myself as the higher self now, more and more and more. Now today there's been some disruptions in that, but it comes back extraordinarily quickly. It's not that I get the sense that it's stuck to me now, that it's not something that I could even shed. I'd have to truly like take a machine gun and mow people down and do some crazy crap to go down like a 3D parallel reality that wouldn't be commensurate with first contact, or having the remembrance of who and what I am and how I've organized myself as a being. It would have to be something, have to really go into the darkness. And from what I understand, the crystallization of the span at this point in time is basically commensurate with what parallel reality you're going to be on. Now, it is still possible, not saying that it couldn't happen, but it would have to be pretty drastic to be able to go down that parallel reality track that isn't commensurate with first contact, in my particular case at this point in time. So I hope any and all of that makes sense. If you have questions, I'm going to put a link down in the description to the video for the periscope technique, because I thought that was pretty cool. It's only a couple minutes long. It'll be the first link in the video. Thank you very much for watching and listening to me ramble on over and over again. I hope that was had some semblance of sense to it, and I'm getting a lot of feedback from a lot of people of similar situations, so I hope that is helpful, and through synchronicity that you found this and that it was useful for you. Thank you very much. Glenn Parker High Vibration Foundation. Please like, subscribe, and share. This is a video from Bashar that at the end it says share. It's like, ooh, that was the one that made me do videos, because every time I heard that it was like, come on, there's things that you want to share. Life coaching, business coaching, and spiritual coaching. If you follow the link below for the foundation website, you can go and fill out the form for a session. And in the description, there's all kinds of different things. I'm going to put different links for relevant types of things in the community as well. Maybe even make a little section in there for relevant events that are coming up, like Bashar and stuff like that. Was even thinking of putting stuff on the Foundation website. There's some of these plugins that I was looking at that you can pull events and calendars off of Facebook and other places and embed them into a common calendar. So I was thinking of like a community calendar. So keep an eye out for that as well as resources come available to get that done. Thank you very much, and have a fantastic day.